All right, changing up gears here. We are just a little over 24 hours away from the polls closing and tomorrow's runoff race. Voters will cast ballots tomorrow in several key runoff races featuring candidates who failed to secure more than 50% of the vote in last month's primary. Georgia Republicans vastly outnumbering Democrats in early voting for that primary runoff. And that number, it flips a trend when Democrats outnumbered Republicans in the general primary. So why is that? Well, 11 Live's Doug Richards is taking a look at the numbers and the effect.
It is not a big surprise that Democrats who turned out so vigorously in the primary are not necessarily doing so in the runoff. When Democrats handed a big victory to Keisha Lance Bottoms as their nominee for governor last month, they turned out in droves and settled the party's top spot on the November ballot. But Republicans split between Burt Jones and Rick Jackson in their governor's race, leaving the runoff decision for Tuesday. In the May primary, voting data shows 58% of the early voters were Democrats. But in the June runoff, only 36% have been Democrats.
We are communicating to all of the voters that, turned out in the primary and making sure they come back out on Election Day. Look, this is a turnout race.
The turnout race Nabila Parks is running is for lieutenant governor, the marquee seat on the Democratic runoff ballot. Meantime, Republicans are choosing in the runoff nominees for the much higher profile seats of governor and U.S. Senate.
Well, I've been trying to educate as many voters as possible about what a lieutenant governor is.
Josh McLaurin is facing Parks in the Democratic runoff. They both expect most Democrats who turned out last month to also turn out by Tuesday.
Anybody who's showing up to vote right now knows what a primary runoff is and that it's happening, which means you got to be paying pretty close attention. We wish more people were paying close attention.
By the way, history shows the appeal of the lieutenant governor's office. Over the last 50 years, every single lieutenant governor has gotten into the race for governor. At the Capitol, Doug Richards, 11 Alive News.
Our thanks to Doug for that report. Remember, 11 Alive is your source for the runoff election. We'll have live reports from campaign watch parties, county by county vote totals, and analysis from our Georgia Vote panelists. You can join us streaming on the 11 Alive app.